Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are doing a map video of Chandler, Arizona. So if you want to know everything about Chandler, make sure to stay tuned. Well, hey guys, welcome back. We're doing a map video of Chandler, Arizona today. So if you take a look on your screen, I have Chandler highlighted in the red there in relation to the rest of the Phoenix metro area. As you can see, Chandler is on the southeast side of the Phoenix metro. It's going to be just south of Mesa, bordering Gilbert over to the east and Tempe to the north and to the west, as well as Phoenix and Ahwatukee to the far west. So if you see right here on South Mountain Preserve, right on the south side there, that's going to be Ahwatukee, which is also technically part of Phoenix as well. And Chandler's going to be bordering that. Tempe is going to be going all the way down. Mesa covers right up to the top here and then actually wraps around the right side here where Phoenix Mesa Gateway is actually part of Mesa. And then Gilbert. So what makes Chandler special? So Chandler is a little bit further out as one of the cities and suburbs of the Phoenix metro. And so what that gives you is a little bit more space. The homes here tend to be a little bit more affordable. There are some 55 plus communities here and a lot of different shopping. And as you can see, there are several golf courses throughout as well, and quite a few lakefront living options. Up on the north side, there's some lakefront living here, as well as on some of the golf courses down over here. So Ocotillo is a fantastic golf club. That's going to be on more on the south side of Chandler. Sun Lakes is not part of Chandler. That's a 55 plus community, but borders right there. Then you have two other lakefront living options, Ironwood Golf Club and Palo Verde Country Club, right next to that as well. But plenty of golfing and other entertainment options. Chandler does have the Chandler Municipal Airport. To give you an idea of exactly where that is, it's pretty much in the dead center of Chandler, just south of the 202 and just to the east of the 87. Now this is a municipal airport, but they do have flights going to other regional airports in the area. If you wanted to, you could grab a flight over to Phoenix Sky Harbor or up to Scottsdale Airport or Deer Valley, which is just north of Scottsdale. You could even go over to Mesa or down to Tucson. And they have some to other neighboring states right around the area too. But mostly it's going to be private airlines flying out of here. So you will have to either drive over to the Mesa Gateway Airport, which is pretty close, and that airport is becoming much more major now, which gives you flight options all across the country. Sun Country and Frontier are two of the primary carriers over there at Mesa Gateway, but also American Eagle, which is the smaller airline associated with American Airlines, flies out of there as well. But you're also not too far from the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. Depending on where you are to the Phoenix Mesa Airport, Mesa Gateway Airport, excuse me, you're gonna be anywhere from about 5 to 15 minutes. And then to Phoenix Sky Harbor, depending on where you are in Chandler, as well as what time of day you're going, which means traffic, it's going to be anywhere from about 10 minutes to 30 minutes to get over there, which isn't too bad. I'm talking a little bit about the history of Chandler and some of the stats on it. It is one of the larger cities within the Phoenix metro area. The 2020 census, the population was right about 276,000 people. Chandler was first started in 1891 by Dr. Alexander John Chandler, which the city is named after, buying a bunch of area down there as a ranch. Now, Chandler has several high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools. As you can notice from the satellite view here as well, Chandler really is on the outskirts and the edges of the city right now. Although they are still building a bunch of new areas, they do run into some issues on the south and on the western borders of Chandler here. As you can see, all those green fields, those are farmlands. So it is possible, and a lot of times developers will buy out the farmland and then develop the area. But generally, the farms will stay there for a little while. But they do have some area they're going to be developing here on the northwest corner, as well over on the southeast corner. Now, Chandler is a bit newer than some of the other areas in the Phoenix metro, and also depending on where you are in Chandler. The newer areas of Chandler are going to be the further south that you go. The further north is going to be a bit older. Now, most of the homes in the North End area were built mainly between the 60s and the 80s, with on the south part, which when I say south, we're going to just say south of the Loop 202, but really south of Queen Creek Road is going to be the newest stuff. And that, depending on where you are, if it's more on the west side, those were built mainly in the 1990s and newer. And on the east side, they were built right around in the 1990s. Now, there are still new build communities here, as well as older communities, and they have basically a nice big mix between condos, single family homes, and apartments, as well as townhomes here. So there is a good mix of everything. Now, compared to some of the other areas in the Phoenix metro area, Chandler does still have shopping, but not quite as much as some of the others. Phoenix and Scottsdale are going to have more shopping, so will Mesa. But those are also closer in. You still do have quite a few different shopping complexes here. You have one right on the corner of Ocotillo in the 87, a nice big shopping center there. You have another shopping center. One of the main ones is right up here on Gilbert Road and the 202, which the 202 is also called the Santan Freeway, is one of our nicknames for it. There are auto dealerships around as well, so car shopping is pretty easy. Downtown Chandler is going to be more on the north side, but pretty centrally located, as you see right here, which is going to be right on Chandler Boulevard and Arizona Avenue, which is also the 87. Now, as Arizona Avenue or the 87 goes through Chandler, it's going to go all the way up north, past the US 60, all the way up past Loop 202 north. The 202 is this freeway that goes all the way around and loops back down to the south, and then it's going to loop back up north to the 10. Nice big wonky circle. And the 87, once you get past the Loop 202 north here, it turns back into an actual highway. But down in the area of Mesa and Chandler, the 87 is actually just a large surface street. But let's get back to the downtown area of Chandler here. Give you an idea of exactly where it is. Now, downtown Chandler is a wonderful little area. They do have business areas there, a bunch of different shopping options, dining options as well. The area is pretty nice and pretty centrally located, easy to get to. I have golf courses on either side, and it is quite similar to, I would say, downtown or Old Town Scottsdale, just not quite as large and not quite as much shopping. But Chandler's done a great job with making it a nice, easy, accessible place, so you don't have to go all the way up to places such as downtown Scottsdale or downtown Phoenix or the Biltmore area to do your shopping, walking around, and dining options. Now, Chandler is a relatively large, long city here. So from north to south, it's right about 22 miles from this northernmost point to the southernmost point. So you do have quite a bit of area. And it's about 15 to 17 miles east to west, depending on the exact point that you're going from. The overall area is going to be right about 65.5 square miles. The climates and everything is going to be very similar to the rest of the valley, just a bit on the southern side. And one of the nice parts is if you're a bit out of the city, it actually gets a bit cooler as less of that heat is trapped in there. Now let's talk about some jobs and what the job opportunities are looking like in Chandler. The main employer in Chandler is going to be Intel. Intel is going to be right over here by Ocotillo. If you see right here, this is the big Intel facility. And it's called their Ocotillo campus, hence named because it's right next to the Ocotillo community and the Ocotillo Golf Club. Now, Intel right here has right about 12,000 employees, and that's what makes Chandler as well as Ahwatukee so popular, is because they are nice and close and easy access to the Intel facility here. It's right off of Old Price Road, as well as Dobson Road. And then you can get easy access if you're on the north side by taking the 202 and then down on Price Road, and then you'll continue down from Price right to Dobson, or you can get off on Queen Creek and then take Old Price Road. A couple different options there. But that's why a lot of times in Ahwatukee and as well as this Ocotillo area, you'll have a lot of executives living there from that work at the Intel facility. But since 2003, more than 2,900 jobs and investments totaling over $3 billion have been created right along Price Road here, which is this road coming down. As you see, you have the business park here right along the 202, just north of the 202 there, as well as going all the way down. You have all of these are large business centers. This Wells Fargo Center is actually the second largest employer in Chandler with over 5,500 jobs. And this area here is going to be one of the main areas for employment in the Chandler area. Now, there are a bunch of other small business parks and other small businesses, shopping centers, and things like that spread all throughout. But the main tech and job centers can be right along here on off Price and Dobson Road there, just south of the 202. Now, the third largest employer is going to be the Chandler Unified School District with 4,900 employees. And the fourth is going to be Bank of America, which is also located right in this area. And they have several other branches throughout Chandler as well. And they have 3,600 employees. Now, Northrop Grumman, which is an aircraft and defense manufacturer, is also located right here in Chandler, Arizona. And they have over 2,100 employees. There's also a semiconductor manufacturer located here, or semiconductor company located here, excuse me, which is NXP Semiconductors. Who have over 1,700 jobs, as well as PayPal is another large company employing people in the Chandler area with over 1,700 jobs, as well as Microchip Technology is in this area as well. So Chandler is becoming known as the Silicon Desert because of all these different manufacturers and tech companies here with Intel, NXP, and Microchip all being right here, as well as a large banking area with Wells Fargo and Bank of America having large facilities, corporate centers, as well as many other branches throughout. So if you are looking for a job in one of the tech industries with Intel or one of the semiconductor industries or a microchip or banking, Chandler could be a great area for you and be nice and close to the job. That way the commute is going to be nice and easy for you. Now, if you have any other questions, please reach out to me. We do get a ton of calls from people asking about the different areas or what are the best homes or other locations depending on where you're working or where you're trying to be. And we just love taking those calls. So please, if you have any questions about any of the homes or the employers or kind of basically anything about the Chandler or just the Phoenix metro area as a whole, and you know where might be the best spot to live, please just reach out. Either DM, text, call, email, however you want to get a hold of us, we'll be there to help you out. And all that contact information is listed right there below. Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. If you did like that video, please make sure to hit that like button. It helps us out a ton. Maybe consider subscribing if you haven't already, or getting that bell icon on. That way you get notified of all our future content. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.